Across the bridge, Superior's Richard I. Bong Veterans Historical Center is looking skyward for continued success there. Today, they held a ribbon cutting for its new 20-kilowatt solar array. The project costs around $5,000 and was funded by donations and a Solar Good grant the center received in the fall of 2023. Executive Director of the center, John Gidley, was excited to announce this new installment, saying this is just the start of the Bong Center's solar journey.
The solar array is a phase one of a bigger vision, one that could eventually cover up to 80% of our electricity needs, reducing utility costs and allowing us to put more resources into what really matters to us. That's honoring veterans and to telling their stories.
Although the celebration took place today, construction for that project actually started in November, and the array has been up and running since January.